Hello smart viewers, you are now watching Face to Face with me, Septrani Galib, and I'll be your host for another 30 minutes. So today we are going to talk with a not ordinary man. He is a doctor and own Corp Indonesia. But before jumping to the talk show, I'm going to inform you the world's deadliest virus, and the first is a Marburg virus. So scientists identified Marburg virus in 1967 when small outbreaks occurred among job workers in Germany who were exposed to infected monkeys imported from Uganda. Marburg virus is similar to Ebola in that both can cause hemorrhagic fever, meaning that infected people develop high fevers and bleeding throughout the body that can lead to shock, organ failure, or even death. The mortality rate in the first outbreak was 25%, but it was more than 80% in the 1998 to 2000 outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as in the 2005 outbreak in Angola, according to the World Health Organization. The second one is rabies. Although rabies vaccines for pets, which were introduced in the 1920s, have helped make the disease exceedingly rare in the developed world, this condition remains a serious problem in India and parts of Africa. It destroys the brain and it's really a bad disease. The next one is HIV. In the modern world, the deadliest virus of all may be HIV. It is still the one that is the biggest killer. An estimated 36 million people have died from HIV since the disease was first recognized in the early 1980s. Powerful antiviral drugs have made it possible for people to live for years with HIV, but the disease continues to devastate many low and middle-income countries, where 95% of new HIV infections occur. Nearly 1 in every 20 adults in sub-Saharan Africa is HIV positive. And the last one is smallpox. In 1980, the World Health Assembly declared the world free of smallpox. But before that, humans battled smallpox for thousands of years, and the disease killed about 1 in 3 of those is infected, and left survivors with deep, permanent scars and often blindness. Mortality rates were far higher in populations outside of Europe, where people had little contact with the virus before visitors brought it to their regions. For example, historians estimate 90% of the native population of the Americas died from smallpox introduced by European explorers. In the 20th century alone, smallpox killed 300 million people. So today we're going to talk about the vaccines, and vaccines kills virus. Interesting. So after some commercial break, we'll be back with the doctor and this ordinary man. So stay tuned in Face to Face. Hi smart viewers, thank you for staying with us, and here we have already met the doctor, this not ordinary man, Dr. Nadim. Hello Dr. Nadim.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. So
Yes.
perhaps the viewers want to know you more, so you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, actually that introduction was a bit over the top. I'm just an ordinary man trying to make a mark in the life I'm leading, and hopefully providing a positive impact to Indonesian people as well. Yeah, and well, I'm a doctor, and I've one of the founders of Corp Indonesia. Yeah, basically it's service company. We provide services for disease prevention and well, generally community wellness programs and stuff like that.
Okay, so first tell me more about you. Why do you put any interest to be a doctor?
Just being a doctor gives this. It's actually not something to be proud of, but it's actually a weight on your shoulder that well, we have this responsibility to provide. I think that's we have this responsibility to actually carry out a job and you know, provide healthcare for the people, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about the Vax Corp Indonesia. It is said that you are the owner of this.
I'm one of the founders.
One of the founders.
Yes.
So how did it start? How did you guys decide to you know, make this corporation?
Okay. Started out. It was my exam paper actually. Started out as my exam project, and during my rotation in the public health department, and yeah, the kind of thinking is actually, well, it came by probably not by accident but through observation. Yeah, like we see how currently most preventive approaches in Indonesia's healthcare right now are really not, there's really not that much effort put into prevention. Like mostly what people know, what people in Indonesia generally know is if they're sick, they go to a doctor to get cured.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of the small things like washing your hands and like washing your hands before eating and washing your food, cooking your food sanitarily and stuff like that, it's common practice. But a lot of people are not properly informed or encouraged towards a more prevention oriented approach. Yeah, so
in short, maybe we as Indonesian have the low, you know, awareness of prevention.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think is the dangerous virus now we are facing in Indonesia?
Actually, I was going to comment on your 7 deadly viruses. Well, there are 3. 3 viruses that is on top of my head that you did not mention. One of it, which is one of the most underrated and underrated virus in to most Indonesian people, is influenza.
Influenza, okay.
Yeah. Influenza, to, I don't know, probably you or almost anybody else would just say, I just have the flu.
Yeah, people take it not really serious, but does it, you know, has it ever killed people?
Yes.
Really? Okay, so
remember the 2009 swine flu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Influenza babi. Yes. The thing with influenza is that they are really sneaky bastards. You might need to censor that. Yeah, but they're really, they keep on mutating and drifting and shifting their genetic components and stuff to make your body not recognize them.
Wow.
And yeah, like influenza is usually airborne. Yeah, like it spreads mostly airborne. Through droplets or the air that you breathe in, or sometimes for a short period of time it can spread through contact as well, like when you shake hands or touch elevators and stuff. Yeah, influenza is one of the most deadliest and
virus.
easy. Easy to transfer, and they mutate all the time.
Mutate. Also, what do you think about the prevention of influenza itself? Do we have the vaccines?
There are vaccines for influenza, and
they are mutated every time, but you know.
Yes, which is why every year there's a new batch of new influenza virus, influenza vaccine, and they survey which influenza virus is currently in the environment and stuff, and the vaccine are made according to that. And yes, you need to take yearly flu shots for that exact purpose. Like that's the only virus that are preventable that you need to take yearly.
Okay, so
that often.
Yeah.
For that exact purpose, because influenza is really
deadly.
Well, not as not all influenza are deadly. Yeah, but when they mutate and when they decide to like, okay, let's ruin the world, then it starts.
It's the end of the world. Okay, what are the other two viruses that go on your mind?
Again, dengue fever.
Dengue, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are just like, I have day by day.
Yeah, I have
right?
dengue.
But
okay.
Dengue fever kills a lot of, especially children. Yeah, and usually it's more like environmental factor at play. And yes, and there's a new vaccine for dengue, which was launched last year, I think.
Okay, so people will have the prevention by the vaccines.
Yes.
Okay.
And also the third is HPV.
HPV.
It's currently a really concerning problem in Indonesia right now, especially for women. Like probably you've heard of Julia Perez's death last month. Yeah. Well, we hope that it brings more awareness to that. But actually, we've been campaigning for HPV since last year, and hopefully it will provide good impacts for people to start preventing for cervical cancer and other HPV illnesses.
So what do you think of the importance of getting vaccines beforehand? How much important it is?
Well, let me ask you, if you park your car outside, would you lock it or would you just like open it?
Of course I'll lock it.
Yeah, that's the answer. Like vaccinations is like, you know, our body have immune systems and defense and everything, and vaccination is just like a training for our immune system, like a briefing and update and everything, and like to let our immune system learn about a particular virus or bacteria. So when we actually have to fight the real thing, we're already prepared.
Yeah.
Right? So basically it's just that. Like updating your computer's antivirus.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, after this, we're going to talk more about the Vax Corp Indonesia.
Sure.
So stay tuned in Face to Face. Hi smart viewers, thank you for staying with us, and like I said earlier, we're going to talk a bit more about Vax Corp Indonesia.
Cool.
So can you tell me a bit more about Vax Corp?
Well, what do you want to know?
Like what do you do as your daily activities? What campaign you're raising right now?
Okay, so basically probably we'll start with our services. Yeah. We provide vaccinations and laboratory work, and we bring those services to people wherever they are. Like, so our team of doctors, on an appointment basis, we visit them at their homes or at their offices, or wherever they prefer.
Okay.
Right? The idea is that a lot of people are, making excuses and stuff, like, or perhaps like in Jakarta, where everyone is busy and they work from 9 to 5 and stuff like that, and they can't afford to make time to go to take care of themselves and things like that. So we provide those services to them anytime, and
Anywhere.
according to their own schedule.
So what campaign are you raising now for the people in Indonesia?
Right now, basically, we're campaigning about general prevention at first, but we're also focusing on campaigning against particular diseases such as HPV. That's one of the biggest concerns in Indonesia right now, and we campaign mostly right now through digital marketing. We have articles in our websites and stuff, and also through social media channels, and we provide free online consultations as well, emails and stuff like that.
Yeah. How do people respond to the actions you guys take?
Yeah, actually, from when we were founded in June last year until this year, we were sort of in, a concept validation stage. We're still not too aggressive and see what people's responses are, and it's actually been really good. And like our customers or our client base is actually very supportive, and which is why we're taking a faster pace starting this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're also planning like real life events, so not just through social medias and digital marketing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we're currently planning on making like health workshops and like training for mostly human resources and companies and stuff, so they can get the idea of like workplace health and what they need to do to evoke awareness and maintain like a healthy working environment and stuff like that.
So automatically you said that people are more into the practical things, right? They like, attending workshops rather than having the theory tutored.
Simply, people don't like to, overcomplicate things, right? And right now, what we have mostly in Indonesia, or like when we Google stuff about diseases and stuff like that, it's all in alien languages, and like non-medical people would be like, what the hell is this, right? Yeah. So one of our approaches is that we try to simplify things and explain about things in like more easily understandable metaphors, or like we put stories to explain how things work and what you need to do and stuff like that. And also we're planning to make like these workshops and events and stuff. It's more our approach is more into lifestyle. Yeah, because like if it's too doctory, too medically and stuff like that, there's a gap. There's always a gap between the doctor and the people. I don't know why, but some people like they hesitate to talk to doctors unless like probably they ran out of advices from their friends, families,
or internet.
yeah, and internet, or they start Googling stuff, and you know, like if you Google, I have an itchy nose, and it could be cancer, stuff like that.
And you go sick for doctor.
Yeah, and people start to worry and stuff like that. So basically, what we're trying to bring is kind of an one-stop platform where people can not treat sicknesses, but prevent it altogether. Like from lifestyle, from what they eat, from vaccinations, from well, we're going to develop like nutritions and stuff like that also, and also technologies that aid us in healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we got some pictures of the activities that Corp do. Can you show the picture?
Let's talk some more.
Okay, yeah. That's, oh, we got a picture already?
Yeah, that's our logo.
Oh, that's your logo. Corp. Protect yourself, protect your community.
Yeah, that is one thing we need to discuss. That, okay, let me ask you this. If you get vaccinated, who benefits from that?
Of course, me, myself.
See, it's not about us. It's not about you, it's not about me.
Okay.
Right?
So it's about what?
When you're vaccinated or when you're healthy, you minimize the risk of spreading diseases to other people.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Because sometimes, like, we can catch viruses or well, other germs, and because our immune system is all right, or like it's strong enough, but we still carry the virus to probably, if you go home and there's a child in your home, or probably even like elderlies, you risk spreading diseases to them.
So it's the prevention for me to spread the disease to my community.
Yes.
Okay, so clearly it's the vaccination.
This is our activity with a student in one of the universities in Indonesia, in Jakarta. I can't name which.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then
and
what kind of
this is a vaccination for hepatitis B.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do we have any other picture? Oh, the same.
Yeah, this is the same.
The same. Any other picture? Okay. There's no? Okay. We're going to talk a bit more about the awareness. So people tend to say that if I'm going to the vaccination, it costs much, especially for HPV. We all know that it's very, very important nowadays, but there are still, you know, low income people who cannot afford to get the vaccination. So how do you think about this situation?
Well, we're on the verge of solving that. What we came up with is that, well, you can see that what we provide, our services, is really, really significantly comparable to what you can get at other places. Because simply we want to help more people get more coverage, and we think about those who are below the middle class and below poverty line and stuff. So yeah, we think about them as well, and we're currently planning events that are well, it'll be funded by like CSR fundings or private public fundraising programs, and like crowdfundings and stuff like that. So yeah, aside from what we are offering as our services, we're also currently planning for events like that. So it's not only people who are privileged enough financially that can acquire these prevention, but also it's just about, you know, like involving more communities to help each other, right? And also from our part is that well, we have our own strategies to make how we can provide quality services and quality products with a much lower prices than what the market is offering right now. Yeah, and also payment plans, I think would really help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So before we end this talk show, do you have any words for the people out there about the vaccination or prevention? You can say it to the smart viewers.
Okay. Well, basically, we need to keep in mind that prevention is actually common sense, right? A lot of people are not yet aware of that because for so long we've been living in what our system and what our culture taught us, that well, if you're sick, you go to the hospital and hope to God that your disease is curable, right? Sometimes it's not. And especially for people who are still trying to achieve their goals in life and they have a lot to contribute, they are talented individuals who want to you know, like provide their positive influences to the world and stuff. They're climbing their career ladder and stuff. And what if in the middle of that you get one of the diseases that are uncurable?
Yeah.
Right? But let's not talk about that, such diseases, right? If you're a student, right, and you're sick for 7 days, let's say, your studies are hampered, and you have to. I don't know. It's just ruins your day, right?
It ruins my day.
Yeah. So it's basically common sense.
Okay.
And more people need to know that. That's it.
So in short, prevention is not only for us. It's not all about us, but it's for the community itself. So thank you, Dr. Nadim, for coming here. Such an inspiration.
Yes.
And it gives a whole lot of perspective to us. It widens our knowledge. And thank you, viewers, for watching Face to Face. We'll see you again next week. So, bye.